It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. Last grade it starts with an earthquake, birds, snakes, and aeroplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I have a hurricane. Listen to yourself. Turn worlds in its own needs. Dummies in your own needs. Speed it up and not speed. Got no speed. The letters that you clatter with the fear right down like fire in a fire. Since the southern gang, even government for hire in a combat site. Listen what's coming in a hurry with the fury speed down your neck. Team reporters got the Trump, get the ground, look at that low plane. Fine, then overflow, population quarantine, but it'll do. Seven worlds in your own need. Listen to your heart. Tell me that the reds are in the red with the right. You patriotic, snap like right. I'm feeling pretty psyched. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. 6 o'clock TV hour, looking at 4 now. Session Marie, turn, listen to yourself, turn off the media, the phone, the book, the run, every motor, escalating out of over, sitting right, light of motor, right, again, step down, what you feel, cross, crush, up, all these feelings, don't fear, devil, here, renegade, sphere, clear, turn them in, fly, you have a solution, the novel, the alternative, and I decline. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. The other night, fine, got a little to find out, playing in a light lantern, first time lantern, first time lantern, listen to the back, pretty party cheesecake, a jelly bean boom. Patriotic, slam, put that's it right. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. Oh, it's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Midwest Miniature Guys Manic Miniature Monday stream. For those of us here in the United States, it is Memorial Day. For some of you, it's just Monday. But or some maybe you're across the pond and it's Armistice Day. You may call it that. But this is the day that we remember our fallen war veterans. Thankfully, I don't have any in my family that died fighting in a war that I'm aware of. Most of my relatives made it back. So, but we are going to start on a big project tonight. I'm going to be working on Mossbeard the Treeman from Reaper Miniatures. I put his head onto the shoulder section of his body. And this is what we're going to be working on tonight. But I'll show you the other section. I also got the arms put together. This is the other section here. And I did put it on a base and got it covered with some basing materials, made it look like it's, muddy, kind of up on the feet. I've got some little critters that are in here that I'm going to be placing around the tree man as well. And then these are his right and left arms. He's a big guy. He's going to be tall. He's going to be big. And the way that Schwarzbauer wants this guy painted, well, we'll see how much we get done tonight. So, hopefully. I don't know if we'll get the face done, honestly. Hey, Wift, what's going on, A. Schwartzbauer? Evening, guys. Welcome in. Yeah, he's a big boy. And I'm trying to figure out how I want to start work on him. You're great. You just got 3 tattoos. Holy cow. These dudes were $22 this weekend. Maybe I should still order one yet? Yeah, maybe. Do I have... warm brown. Get rid of that one. I don't think I have any light umber. Yeah, plum. I have light umber. I need to go make a run and grab some. Well, I'm gonna be up at. Takes 3 bottles of leather brown just to base coat this one. Yeah, I mean, thankfully it's the Pro Curl paints I use are pretty big, and I can make it go far. You painted an old Reaper Stone Giant today, Whiff? Nice. Shortsfire says you guys should saw his face when I gave him that big mini. Yeah, I was a bit surprised. I was like, what are we doing here? Alright, so I'm going to mix that into that. So I've got a little bit of caramel brown here. I'm going to mix that into my primer, actually. My dark brown and gray primer, and that's going to give me this color here. Yeah, that's the thing, is I don't want him... I don't want to paint him just one shade of brown. So I've got several different shades of brown, brown greens, and such to make him a bit different. Well, here we go. So Magus Knight, how you doing? Hope your Memorial Day is going well. It's good, yeah. Oh, I went and saw with my son-in-law. I went and saw The Mandalorian Grogu today. And I enjoyed the heck out of it. It was a lot of fun. My son-in-law was like, that's probably the best Disney Star Wars thing I've seen. So, with that recommendation, go and see it. You saw it Friday? You liked it too, Magus? Yeah, it was a fun movie. I went in, as I do with most movies lately, Hollywood being Hollywood, very low expectations. I honestly go into most movies, I just want to be entertained. Entertain me for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, and we'll call it good, right? And I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. It was an adventure. That's what it was. It wasn't some big, galaxy war spanning, craziness. It was an adventure. And I liked it. My buddy Bindis is a huge Star Wars fan, even more so than me. And he enjoyed it. So I knew that if he liked it, for what it was, like I said, It's not some big Skywalker that it's Grogu uses the Force a couple of times. Good job, kid. It's great. Um, but it's not some we're going up against the Emperor kind of a thing. Had a good time watching it. Had me rolling on a few parts. I'll tell you one thing that was one fit-looking hut. Oh, right? Yeah, Rhoda comes. Yeah, okay, I'm not. Yeah, Rhoda the Hut. Yeah, buffed dude. In the old canon Star Wars, Wift says I read all the pre-Disney books. Yeah, I did too. I read. Well, I would say that I read most of them. I think I missed a couple, but um, in pre-Disney canon, if you want to call it Star Wars Legends or whatever, there was a Hutt Jedi back in the Old Republic, and he was a monster. Force using Hutt. Ugh. On your side of the day, X deleted your account? What? What for? Thought they were all about free speech. That's too bad. So we're gonna grab a little. What is this? Dark green brown. Which one is this one? Yeah, dark green brown. Apparently, you didn't authenticate yourself or something. Oh, that's weird. Excuse me. You couldn't prove that you weren't a robot? You don't care anymore, not like I was a famous artist. Yeah, I kind of feel the same. Whiff says I winged a Reaper Ramirez yesterday. It turned out pretty great. Nice job. You did finish a model today, though. You did the long rest. Oh, nice. I have that in my queue after I get everything, all my commission stuff done. Or in between other projects. Yeah, it is a cool sculpt lift. Mega says, I don't know, I never got a notification to authenticate myself. That is weird. I'm not on the Reaper Discord. Maybe I should be. Whiff says I got banned from Etsy a few weeks ago even though I never even placed an order. That's weird. You got your pickpocket ogre in the mail? That's a cool sculpt too. You did send an appeal request, but God only knows how fast that will go. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that you got banned from Etsy if you haven't placed an order. Like, how would they know? What Discord am I in? I'm in, well, my own. And then the Minnesota Painters Guild, Monument Hobbies, and a couple of my friends' Discords, private Discord servers. It may have had something to do with me logging in from Idaho on my PC and then a few days later logging in from Wisconsin on your phone. Yeah, that's odd. Shouldn't matter. Give me 1 second here and I can grab that for you. Excuse me, how do I do this now? Invite to server. Here, we'll copy that. Go there. This free monthly mini thing has me planning out future $100 orders from Reaper Direct. I got lots of dungeon creepy crawlies with this order. Bugs, bats, rats, swarms, and kobolds. Nice. Mega says I did some mermaids and a fungal queen over the last couple weeks. You guys have been busy. Nice. Alright. There's my Discord. You should be able to join it if you so desire. And then we can have our own mini discussions. I'm not on a whole lot during the day because my job is fairly taxing, but you can certainly, leave me messages or post photos and stuff of what you're working on. has the puppy. The halfling dog riders are cool. I haven't seen those. I try to keep up with what they send out or they create, but I haven't kept up much. Been busy. It says every time I thought I'd seen everything on the website, I use a search query that brings up 20 sculpts I haven't seen yet. Then when I go back to order them, I have a hard time finding them again. Yeah. Mega says in the beginning of the year you did Kerrigan the River Warden. That was a cool sculpt too. I remember that one. Speaking of rivers, my wife and I, we went to Arcadia, Wisconsin yesterday. My little brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, and they help run. He is one of the managers of a local carnival. They do it during the summer. He has a normal, regular job during the winter that he does. And but they were at the carnival was there yesterday, so we went down, saw him. It was like a 2.5-hour trip down, right? It's a fairly lengthy trip. And then, as we're talking with him, he's like, "Oh yeah, if you with the way, if you want to go back a really cool way, take this one. It goes by the side of the St. Croix River." And we're like, "Okay, cool." And it's like it takes you kind of back through these back roads and whatever, but it's kind of fun. So we did. I mean, it took us a whole lot longer to get home, but we ran through some cool little towns right by the edge of the river. Really neat little places that we are thinking about going back to later this year, possibly, just to like go on like early on a Saturday and hang out. Mega Site says that was awesome. I got 2, painted 1, and sold it. Nice. About the distance to my mom's here in Washington. Yeah, it's a bit of a trek, but it's a pretty trek. That's the best. That's the best part of Wisconsin. Yeah, I kind of agree. I like that area a lot. There was one little business that was all closed up and for sale. I'm like, "Ooh, Kim, we could buy this and move down." She's like, "No, no, we're not moving here." I said, "Oh, come on, honey. It's called Nelson, Wisconsin. It's our last name. We got to find a little house on Nelson Street." And you know, she's like, "No, we're not moving to Wisconsin." Schwarzfire says there's a lot of detail to this one. There is. It's a lot of weird detail, but yeah. It's not like there's a lot of detail like belts and buckles and pouches and stuff like on other models. It's more along the lines of tree bark. What colors can we do the tree bark and make them look different? So I think what I'm going to do is, this is going to be our dark brown green, dark green brown. So we'll have to highlight that up, and we'll do some shading and stuff. And then up here is going to be our caramel brown black mix here. If you didn't have an airbrush, that base coat would be brutal. Interestingly enough, I don't have an airbrush. So this is all hand painted. This was all hand primed yesterday. Yeah, yesterday? No, not yesterday. Saturday. It's like a tree golem. Yeah, it's kind of like a tree golem, yeah. The nice thing is I can use the big brushes. Casey's a cheater. He uses an airbrush for priming. He is a cheater. Yeah, all my stuff is hand primed, hand painted, no airbrush. I'm pretty nuts. I thought about taking out it out and spray primering it, but I didn't want it to be sticky. If you were going to bring that in your campaign, what would you run it as? I'd run it as a treant. Old school second ed treant. Megas Knight says, I use an airbrush in some models, but I also paint on the primer depending on the models. Yeah, I wouldn't mind using an airbrush, but where I live in Minnesota, it's either freaking freezing. The same with like spray primer. This is what I'm talking about, a spray primer. It will either frost if it's too cold out, or it'll get overly humid. It's not good for spray priming. Why is spray primer so sticky? It's the material that the mini is made out of. Interacts with the chemical in the spray primer in the paint, and it doesn't allow it to fully cure for some reason. And I guess the only spray primer that works on bones is Army Painter spray primer, and I dislike Army Painter. You need a heck of a table to have space for a forest full of minis that size. Yes, you do. That's why you only use one of these and a bunch of the little guys. Which I think is funny. If you ever see the miniature for Treebeard from the Lord of the Rings. Uh, he's about the same size, maybe a little bit taller or longer than this dude's head. He's kind of small. He's a little small. Mega says I use Vallejo primer. I've got some of the white Vallejo primer. It's okay. You need a whole box of Forest of the Damned from Steamforge Games. I think I've seen that box set. It's pretty cool. Whiff says I tried painting with yellow today for the first time. Boy, is that a different game. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 17 tree themed models. Check my Discord. Okay. Let's check the Discord here. Oh yeah, well, that's a pretty good start on his face. Let's check the Discord here. I don't know what Magus is sending. Give me a second. Holy cow. Dig the Fungal Queen. That's cool. Oh, those merfolk. Yeah, I painted those. Those are fun. You have the Drunken Mermaid. I think I've seen her on the Spirit of the Forest is about the size of an ogre. Yeah, Spirit of the Forest is such a cool figure. There's the River Warden. That's cool. Yeah, I remember seeing these on X, and I think also on the Reaper fan page on Facebook. Those are cool colors you used on the Warden. I like that. Dog looks great. Oh, those are cool tree folk. Nice. Oh, I dig those. I may have to go find that box. That's pretty cool. Whiff says I did the Vallejo BSL yellow buildup and it actually worked really well. Did a yellow toga on an old metal knoll. Nice. The fungoids will be a cool project at some point. Yeah. That's kind of why I wanted to take this guy on, because he's kind of this big gnarly dude. Alright, so then we're going to grab some drab... Is this drab green or drab brown? Drab brown. Which is very close to our dark green brown. It's got a little bit more green to it, I think. Mega says, I've done some yellows as well. The trick to yellow is using a color with a yellow tint to it, like Scruffulous Brown from Vallejo and mixing in yellow after that. Using Dr. Faust's painting clinic method. So, I'm doing some yellow too, but I'm doing it a little bit differently. So I'm starting purple and red, and then I'm going with, what's it called here? Yellow ochre, and then warm yellow, and then pale yellow is what it'll be once I get the highlights going. But this is, I don't know, some kind of weird magic user or something or other. Whiff says the Vallejo how-to says to start with the brightest and then lay your shady colors on top on the recesses. You can do it that way. That's one way to do it. I like going from darker to bright myself, but as you can see, like I did this in a dark, what's it called? Black brown. That's what I used. Yeah, black brown or brown black or whatever you want to call it. And then, yeah, black brown. And I don't mind using washes or whatever if I need to tone it down a little bit. If I feel like I've gone too bright. Which says I used the Dr. Faust method, which is reverse of that, and it worked great. I was surprised how well the brighter yellows covered. With sun yellow, I had to do 2 coats. Other than that, it was fine. Nice. Yeah, I mean, use what works for you. I'm not one that says, oh, you've got to do it this way or it doesn't work. I'm like, no, whatever works for you. Find a technique that works. This way just happens to work for me. He doesn't like painting fire. That's funny. I had to give him crap about that. So he's got a pretty good method to doing fire. I like going from white up to coal. Because it's just a chemical reaction, not a physical object, yeah. I do know that, yes. That and the hottest point is at the base of the fire, not at the top of it. It's actually the coldest part is at the top. I was watching a Duncan Rhodes video, and he was painting red. He's like, okay, we're going to start with this red, and then we're going to shade down with this red, and then we're going to highlight with this red and this red. I'm like, why don't you just start with the darker one and go that way? You wouldn't have to dink around with all the different stuff. Like, I get that, like, that's his method, but Whiff says, I painted flames on a torch the other day on a little metal halfling. Nice. You love red, Magus. Red's a fun color to paint because there's so many different reds that you can do. Do you want to do a purple red? Do you want a blue red? Do you want a pink red? Orange red? Favorite color since you were a kid? Nice. I kind of had to grow into my favorite color. My favorite colors are now currently are black and green. I love the color green because there's so many different shades of it out there. But it's funny when I'm painting. I love painting skin tone and I love painting leather. Whole red. Mega says I'm getting better at them and trying to get a different variant of them, like a green tone for when I did the mermaids. Yeah. Whiff says I know green pigments can be really tough to do consistently when making paints. And when anodizing too. Yeah. I hear footpad. Oh, thank you. Love you too. Wife brought down some popcorn. Nice. I gotta do the bottom too. Let's see. Do I want to continue with that, or do I want to move on to something different? We could go with. Excited to see how I do moss. Soon. We'll get there. Oh, that's all one big piece. Is that? Yeah, that's moss right there. I'm essentially just using the side of my brush here to get some of these edges. That way I can leave a little bit of that brown black in the recesses there. Using the primer as my shadow color. darker brown back here. It's a little wet. Mega says, driving home and I get a double rainbow and it's over my apartment complex. Nice. It's a double rainbow. Alright, so now for the moss effect here, we got a little bit of this is black green. Yeah, black green. This is black green from Pro Acryl. Hey, Blacksmith 900, how you doing? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome in, welcome in. Magus is gonna get some glamour shots of a figure that he's working on, or worked on, finished. Nice. Your news are going to get a 10-second recap? Absolutely, 10-second recap. I am painting Mossbeard the Treeman from Reaper Miniatures. He is going to be a competition piece for Con of the North next year in February, so I've got some time. But I figured this would be a good multi-part tutorial, or whatever you want to call it. Since you're new here, my name is Tom. I am with I'm the Midwest Miniature Guy. Almost said my work stuff. Never enough time. That's fair. Especially since I'm going to be adding stuff to his base. This is just the top part of him. So he's gonna stand like not almost a foot tall. He's bent over a little bit too, so he's a big dude. And just started him like barely an hour ago. Which, to be fair, pretty good. We've gotten some of our base coats down. I mean, there's a reason why I used black-brown primer, is so that I could use that as our shadow in there. But I can still go back in and do some shading and such. I'm kind of destroying my brush here, but oh well. Getting a free color with the primer layer is always nice. Yeah, absolutely, Blacksmith. I try to do it that way if I can. That way it's not just always black, always white, always gray, whatever. Your name's Curtis, if that helps. Oh, hey, Curtis. Nice to meet you. Well, Curtis, if I may ask, how'd you find me? I always find it interesting how people find the channel or my website or Facebook page or any kind of social media. That's my. Okay, I was wondering what that was. Blacksmith says, I was looking for long form mini painting while I'm painting. Nothing good on YouTube, so I searched minis on here. I don't like the bigger channels. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I may have almost 700 followers, but not all of them are on all the time. I got my my main followers are here though. We got Whiffed and I don't know if my moderator is on right now or not. LED Logic. I haven't looked. Schwartzbauer is normally on. Joe Minnesota's on. 80 Creations. Hey 80, what's going on? Spatsnat's on. Schwartzbauer was on, but he has to get up early and go to work at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, so kind of dumb. Pardon me for just a moment. I'm going to mute my mic so that I can dry this guy. Hold on. Okay. Got that mostly dry. So now we're going to grab a little bit of yellow green and a little bit of bright yellow green. I gotta mix this up really well. All right, then we grab our kind of a wedged brush. This one's pretty beaten up. I'm gonna grab a little bit of our yellow green here. And this is yellow green over black green. That's why this is gonna be pretty bright. I'm not doing just a regular green over it. I did not mean your small time, just more viewer means more. What colors do I use? Questions. Oh yeah, no, it's all good. All good. Yeah, ask questions. That's what I'm here for. I've been painting for about 26 years now. Almost 27 years. And I use this just to kind of get painting information out there to newer painters or even intermediates or whatever that they have questions they want to ask. I might have answers. If not, I can go looking for them. I try not to make stuff up. I'm definitely not a know-it-all when it comes to miniature painting. There's many and other better painters that are out there. I just tend to do a lot of stuff for role-playing games and what have you, so. So a lot of my stuff is normally around hour and a half, 2 hours to get done. This guy's gonna be a lot longer because he's a competition piece, so I gotta remember to take my time on this. So there's our yellow green over our dark, our black green there whiffed, since you asked. And then we're going to grab a little bit of bright yellow green here. And I'm just going to hit some of the higher areas here. Where sunlight might be hitting. On the top of his head here. Whiffed. He's single-handedly responsible for motivating me to spend hundreds of dollars on Reaper Minis, brushes, and Vallejo paints. Hey, now listen. I'll take enabler. That's fine. Monument Hobbies, just find the color names. Yep. Yep. I've used Reaper paints. I've used Vallejo paints. I've used all kinds. When I first started painting, I was using Delta Ceramcoat paints from Walmart. But I would say over the course of like the last year or two, I've moved to Pro Acryl. I like their consistency quite a bit. And I don't mind mixing colors. That can be kind of the fun part of this hobby anyway, is coming up with colors of your own. I think we're going to make that moss up there too. So that's kind of what I'm going for there. So just to show you how big this guy is. That's him on the base there. So I've just been working on the top. Here's the rest of it. He doesn't actually come with a base. I actually created this out of using some coffee coasters, glued them together, and put some basing material on it. Primed it and put some basing material on it. And I've got a little sapperling guy. And I've got a bird, and I've got a ferret, and I've got a bobcat that I'm going to repaint and put them, like the bird's going to go somewhere probably up here. The little sapperling guy, I'm not sure where I'm going to put him yet. But the bobcat and the ferret are going to be down here on the base somewhere. The Mose, hey Mose, what's happening? Hydrate, I shall do so. Hey LED, what's going on? Megan says finally got him. Nice. Excuse me. Oh, we have to call that a maxi, not a mini, right? Yeah, this guy's... He's big. So then his arms... I might put the bird on one of the arms. Because here's his left arm here. Goes in like that. Look at how... Like, and then his right arm... So it looks like he's walking. That's how big that dude is. So compared to a PC size figure, excuse me. Like, this is a little dwarf dude. He's not even the size of the foot. Like, that foot would just crunch. Right? Gimli had no chance. He's like, ooh. Put the axe down. A few mushrooms in the top stump would be cool. Yeah. Well, he's got... On his side here, he's got some mushrooms on his leg. The Mo says, reminds me of the big troll tree guys from Fable 1. Yeah, he's just big. He's huge. Give it some top color. Yeah. We'll have some... I've got some other stuff. What I want to do is I've got some other foliage that I want to put on him. I've got some of this... let's see if I can find it here. I've got some of this moss that I'm going to put on him. And then the base will have a little bit more leaves and grass and stuff like that. So, but yeah, he's a big one. That's one of the reasons why I have him in sub-assembly, is I didn't want to try and paint him like this. I'll paint it all separately, and then there's a fungus among us. Yeah, exactly. But I want to figure out what I want to do with his eyes. I'm not super happy that they're sunk in. I almost wanted to ball up some green stuff and make eyes for him. Also needs a very small guy writing him, exclaiming that we are standing on the field of victory. Yeah, there you go. Lots left to do on this dude. Megas, I'll take a look in just a second here. How you been, Mose? It's good to see you. Use a little bit of this yellow green here. There. Be careful when you're casting Fireball. Right, yeah. Mo says, just sat down to write session 1 of a new D&D campaign and saw you on. Had to stop in. I appreciate that, man. I hope that writing goes well. Blacksmith says, I'm working on a silverback gorilla that would fit on that one shoulder. That'd be cool. Have him sitting, yeah. Little gorilla sitting on his shoulder. Alright, I think I'm going to mix a little bit of this khaki into our drab brown here. So I mixed a little bit of khaki into our drab brown. Brighten that up just a little bit here. I believe I used the drab brown on this one here. Blacksmith, where's that gorilla from? Oh, there was an ad? Oh, no worries. Mo says, sorry I haven't been in for a bit, just bought a house and moving was a chore. Oh, yeah, moving just, ugh. I've thought about it. I'm not super happy with where I'm at right now. But my wife loves this house. It's our first house. We've never moved. Well, I can't say we never moved. We moved from an apartment into our home. And we've been here, like, our daughter grew up here. Granddaughter knows to come here, you know, kind of thing. Arch Villain Games Old World Primal Roar bundle. Nice. That's where Blacksmith got that gorilla from, so if you're interested in picking up a gorilla, go there. God willing, I'll be here for the rest of my life. Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what we're to the point of now. We're both in our, well, she'll be 50 this year, I'll be 51 this year, and moving just seems like a horrible chore. I certainly don't want to be in the city much anymore. Like if I could, I'd move like further out into the country and just be away from people. But all my role-playing friends are down here, so there's a boss gorilla that is about the same size as their tree. Oh, nice. It's a big gorilla. There's a huge Reaper boss elephant too. Oh yeah, he's big. You have the Pygmy Mammoth primed and ready for painting. Someday I'll get around to Jungle Minis. I had a client of mine, I have painted up like 3 box sets for him. So one of them was the Lost Tombs of Harkir, and then the, what was it? The Dark Depths, which was the underwater one. Lost Tombs of Harkir, and oh, the Greek Odyssey. Greek Odyssey one was fun. That was pretty fun. I enjoyed painting up the centaur and some other stuff. I think I'm gonna mix a little bit more of my caramel brown into here. Do what those ladies tell us. Get shot down because you're overzealous. Play hard to get. Females get jealous. The Hekir pack beetle is sick. Yeah, I got to paint that. That was fun. Yeah, that was a ton of fun. Alright, so this is a little bit more of our caramel brown mixed in with our brown black gray. Just trying to get different shades of brown on this guy so that he's not just one color. So like down on the legs, we're going to be doing some warm brown grays. Caramel brown is one of my favorite colors. It's just a good mid-tone for a lot of things. Absolutely, Blacksmith. Yeah. No, I like caramel brown. I like warm brown. You mix those two, you get some really nice tones as well. keep reminding myself too that wood isn't just one color, right? Like it's a bunch of different shades. New growth looks more green, old can go more gray. Yeah, exactly. And if you haven't noticed, I'm a painterly miniature painter. I don't, like, I grew up doing, high school art classes and stuff, and I had one person who saw a photo that I did of Arwen with Frodo mounted on a horse. It was one of the old Games Workshop models that they did when the movies first came out. And the the way that I painted it, somebody commented and they said, "Oh, did you use oils?" I'm like, "No, it's just acrylics." And they like, "Wow, that looks like oils." I'm like, "Nope, it's just cheap 88 cents acrylics, man." Just kind of. I just like not being plugged into one way of painting. I like doing weird stuff. I guess I have my own technique for sure, my own style. Whiff says we need some Midwest Miniature Guy merch, a shirt that says "I like doing weird stuff." Yeah. Okay, I gotta take a look at these photos that of the long rest that was posted here. Hang on. Oh, man, that's really good. If you're not part of the Discord, you can join us there. Magus, this is really good, man. Yeah, join the Discord and you can take a look at this, the long rest that Magus Knight did. I like, yeah, I like that. So I did a diorama a while ago. Is he removable? Oh yeah. And I'll go back to this scene here. But I did this diorama here. So this is the mysterious stranger with his dog, and then I used some D&D miniature stuff to kind of create the scene. And so there's my OSL around the campfire, up on him and on the dog. Then everything else, like I actually took this out and spray primed it black back in here, and then did a little bit of light greens or mid-tone greens and stuff here. You can see like there's a little bit of, and I dry brushed some darker areas on the grasses. But this is like one big piece of foam. But some of this is still removable. Like I can take the stranger off, and I can show you. So there's my mysterious stranger with like purple shadows on the back. And then the doggo, again, purple shadows on the back, and then OSL on his fur in the front. But this is supposed to be a road, or at least a little pathway. I've got the cart here that I can remove. All this stuff in the cart is removable. So yeah, I had fun doing this one. Took me a while. The other one that I did a little bit of OSL on is this. I found this at a miniature swap meet. So yeah, my OSL up here. That we're talking about fire earlier. How to do fire. So he's riding on a cloud. It's literally Jesus on a horse with a little angel, and he's coming in too. Yeah. Mysterious Stranger is a great piece. Had fun painting him. All right, dark green brown here. A little pale yellow mixed in. It's going to give us that color here. It's almost 10 o'clock already? Holy cow. Night is flying by. Yeah, OSL is always a little tricky. Like, I still have issues with it. Like, how do I figure it out? How do I do this? Where's my shadows? Where's my light source? You know, if I have a light source, like if it's a lantern or a campfire, that helps. But I'll watch James Wapple and he'll go, "Oh, we're gonna do an OSL effect here." And I'm like, "Well, where's your light source coming from? I don't understand. Help me, James Wapple. You're my only hope." And then I just trying to figure it out myself. It's your model for the day. It's Memorial Day. Yeah, there you go. Fits the day. My buddy Alex is gonna get me one from Nerixon that's similar to that one. It's gonna be bigger. Where it's a female warrior sitting next to a campfire. Um, but it's got I think it's a stone monument or something behind her. It's small mini dump, yeah. You post a few of your dioramas and minis. Nice. Can't wait to see them. Definitely take a look here. That's a pretty good start. It's gonna be like 2 hours and you barely got the face done. Like, I know. His beard would add a different color to the brown to show contrast. Oh, I will, yeah. I'm gonna have, this is, let's see, we've done dark green, brown, and then we added a little bit of pale yellow into that. But I'm gonna add a little bit of, I'll probably make a green wash and go over it just to transform it a little bit more. Yeah, we've probably got, I don't know, 5 or 6 different colors on this guy already. Just from mixing and saying things, not telling you what you do. Oh yeah, I get it. We got the same work process going here. So yeah, we've got our for the moss. It was black green, yellow green, bright yellow green. For the beard and some of the other stumps, it was dark green, brown with then some pale yellow mixed in to brighten it up a little bit. The other stumps, it was drab green mixed with a little bit of khaki then to brighten it up a little bit. And then the main part of the head here was black brown mixed with some caramel brown. And then I think I'm still going to grab a little bit of caramel brown and brighten it up just a little bit more, because the face is definitely going to be the focal point. But as he's standing, he's kind of bent like this, so his face is down. It's facing down to the ground. And then we still got this one darker stump back here to do as well. And some of this section here. So you're using a little bit of that caramel brown now just to highlight some of the areas around the eyes. almost done for the night. Back and legs are starting to hurt. Sucks getting old. Holy cow, I got 10 people watching? That's pretty good. Hey, Hackabus, how you doing tonight? Oh, man. My light umber is all gone. I need to get some more. I'll pick some up at Wild Wolf on Wednesday when I'm there. But I am out of that for sure. What am I doing on? Yeah, I should probably pick up some dark umber too. But yeah, this dye is definitely old growth. go that bright yet. That's very bright. So we're going to do the insides here with this color. This first fight is going to be interesting, Mose. Nice. Well, I hope it goes well for you, the DM. Next Saturday, I'm running my Outlaws and Law Dogs game, which is a Wild West game. I'm running my train heist scenario for some new players. Well, mostly new players. One returning player. And I'm excited to do that again. I love running the train heist. It's so much fun. Never know what people are going to think up. Oh yeah, and I got my train heist and also the Ballad of Rocky and Nancy approved for Gamehole Con. So I'll be running them at Gamehole Con if anybody is going. If you're unaware of Gamehole Con, it takes place in Madison, Wisconsin in October. Go to gameholecon.com and you'll get all the info. In fact, badge registration is open. So I got my badges, or my badge. And my wife, we've got our hotel all set. I think game selection happens in June or July. Soon, anyway. Alright. I'm going to call it for the night there. I think that's a good start. Definitely better than the primer that we started with. Now, that's pretty good. 2.5 hours, or 2 hours, 20 minutes. We've got quite a bit done. So I'll get some work in progress photos taken here and throw them up in the socials and Discord and all that fun, happy stuff. Oh, that's gonna look cool. Yeah. Look at that. Mo says, Bardog licks up a wild magic potion after a drunk knocks it out of a wizard's pouch. The dog gains magic abilities and howls. The nearby stray hounds come rushing into the bar, havoc ensues. Nice. Looking good, sir? Thank you. Yeah, this guy is... Like I said, he's looking down, so we've got to... trying to focus on the face. Like, a lot of the focus is up here. But, no, he's going to be fun to do. It'll be fun. But yeah, I'm going to call it for the evening. Let's raid somebody here. Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got to raid? Well, AD Creations only has a couple people watching, so we're going to raid her. She's working on an Erickson model, which is really cool. Looks like it's a dancer of some kind. She's really neat. So go say hi to AD Creations. She's been watching most of the night too, or at least lurking. And so we're going to raid her. I'll be back on Wednesday night, and we're going to work some more on Mossbeard. This is only part one, folks. We got a lot more to do on him. So, thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for the follows, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.